The Resume score pipeline extracts structured data from PDF resumes, enriches it with signals from GitHub, and outputs a fair, explainable evaluation. The project includes a number of source files. The core pipeline runs as follows. First, a module called PyMapFrag converts each PDF page into Markdown-like text. Then PDFPy calls a language model for every section: basics, work, education, skills, projects, and awards, using templates stored in the prompts directory. Then GitHub Py pulls the developer's GitHub profile and repositories, classifies each project, and asks the model to pick the top 7 good projects. After that, Evaluator Py applies a set of scoring rules that include categories such as open source, self-projects, production, and technical skills, also adding bonuses or deductions. Finally, ScorePy orchestrates everything, prints the results to the console, and, if a development flag is enabled, writes a CSV file and caches intermediate JSON data. You can run the whole thing locally with Alima, or use Google Gemini if you have an API key. Installation is simple. Clone the repo, create a virtual environment, activate it, and pip install the requirements. If you want to use Alima, just install it from its official site, launch the server, and pull the model you prefer. For example, Gemma 34B or Gemma 312B. If you want to use Gemini, set the environment variable LLM provider to Gemini, set the default model to a supported Gemini model such as Gemini 2.5 Pro, and supply a Gemini API key. The configuration file, env, contains the key variables. LLM provider chooses the backend. Default model gives the model name. Gemini API key is needed only when using Gemini. GitHub token improves GitHub rate limits. The code also has a flag called development mode in config.py. When that flag is true, the pipeline caches JSON results and appends a line to a CSV file for later analysis. Using the command line, you can score a resume with a single command: Python score PyPath to resume PDF. This will run the extraction, fetch GitHub data if a profile is found, run the evaluation, and print a human-readable summary. If you've turned on development mode, it will also write a CSV row and cache intermediate data. The source tree is organized like this. There are scripts for the RAG extraction, PDF handling, GitHub enrichment, evaluation, and transformation. The prompts folder contains Jinja templates that guide the language model through extraction and scoring. Each template is paired with a specific section or rule set. The overall project uses Pydantic models to enforce data schemas and to provide a unified interface to different language model providers, whether Alima or Gemini. Contributing to the project involves keeping prompts declarative and provider agnostic, testing changes with real resumes, and adding smoke tests that run through each stage. The license is MIT, and the code is hosted on GitHub under the InterviewStreet organization.